What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Railroads Online. And yes, I am recording this time. Sweet. Alright, so I've redone a few of the lines already, going up to the iron ore mine, but I want to redo some of the lines still down by the smelter because I keep derailing in one of the areas and I really want to solve that issue. And I also want to go ahead and I modified the line going up to the iron ore mine, but instead of having two lines coming out of the smelter, one going to the iron ore and one going to the coal mine, what I want to do is I'm going to have a single one coming out of the smelter, and then it's going to branch off after the waterfall. So today what I'm going to do is I've already taken a load of lumber up to the iron ore mine. Now I'm taking beams up. I want to first off fix the line. I have a switch I need to take out down by the smelter. And then heading up to the iron ore mine, I have another section of track that I want to repair where there's a switch. I want to move the switch from its current spot. Make sure I don't derail. That's a nasty turn. I want to fix the switch and move it to where it's not so janky. So let's get down to the smelter here, which is just over the crest of this hill. And once I get down there, I'm going to take out the one switch and I'll show you exactly what was done. So let's get down there. Alright, so I just stopped the train here, right down next to the smelter, coming down into the smelter. What I want to do is there's a straight section of track here. I might actually take this little bend out right here, but I want to come off of this straight with a switch and have the track come out more this way. So that way, for one, this turn here isn't as sharp. I can actually widen out this turn right here a little bit more. That way, it's a little bit easier to get around and I don't have to worry about it so much. And also, I want to double slip this because I need to have two tracks coming down through here. Because as of right now, over here there's a switch that kind of splits off to where I can go back around to that side of the smelter, which is right here. And as soon as you make this turn off of this switch, taken to this left, it's a very sharp turn right here, and it tends to derail either right here or even sometimes right here before the switch. So I kind of want to come off of this switch here and be able to come out more on an angle this way, and then move this switch right here, so that way I can come off of this and angle it around a little bit cleaner back to here, and then also come off and then go back up to that switch. So let me get this done here. It's going to take a little bit of time. So let me get this done and I'll show you what it looks like afterwards. Alright, so that took a little while. Almost an hour actually. Redone this curve here. As you can see, it's not as tight of a turn as it used to go right through here. I took it and I swooped it out and around a little bit better. And then if I can get the mouse to go the right direction here, I went ahead and put in this extra switch here because I'll show you what I added on before, which I might actually get rid of. I'm going to end up getting rid of this switch right here and then straighten this out, but that is a later date. right now, I wanted to get this stuff done. Got these two switches here going the right direction because we're going to be coming down this line right here, coming straight and then turning left. But I went ahead and I straightened this section out a little bit better. It's not as sharp of an S-turn, so hopefully we can make it around through here a little bit easier, a little bit more safely, I should say. Safely? Safer? Whatever you want to say. It's not that tight of a turn. I'll get rid of this groundwork here as well. I was leaving it there to follow with the new bridge, but I'm just gonna continue with this bridge here and split off once we get up higher on. Get rid of all that bridge down here. So now I have two lines coming into the smelter. One for going on the left side, one going on the right side, but either way, no matter which one we come in on, we'll be able to hit up whatever side we need to go on. And then right here is the new switch I put in. And like I said, we'll be taking this inside line right here, so I already have this switch thrown the proper way. So let's get up here to the train and let's get going onto the new section of track and then head on up to the iron ore mine and drop off these wooden beams. Alright, our fire temperature has gone down. We ran out of fuel because I've been sitting here for quite a while. But before we hit up the 2% incline, we should have our water temperature back up again, no problem, which we're almost back up to 100 degrees on the fire temperature down here. Our boiler pressure should start climbing back up to the 130. So getting onto the new section here on this turn, as you can see, the old track used to go through here. So we did widen this curve out, smoothing it out quite a bit. Looks a lot better than what it did. So once we get around the S-bend, I'll go ahead and crank the regulator up and get it ready for this 2%. It's almost a 2% incline all the way up. So as long as we can make it up without losing too much speed at the beginning, we should be able to make it all the way up. Oh yeah, this is a lot better here. Don't have to risk... Ooh, might have to get rid of that tree. Kind of close. Don't really have to risk too much of it derailing through here anymore. That is nice. I'm just worried about maybe this turn here. Might have to redo it again. But we'll see and find out. Alright, so... this is getting to the 2% incline. So I'll go ahead and start getting it going. If we start wheel slipping, I'll throw the sander on. But I want to try it without the sander. See if we can make it up with a full load here without the sander being on. But yeah, the only reason why I did this is because the steep incline going out of the off the platforms for the steel beams and rails, we couldn't make it up the steep incline coming out and up. So I had to start it back here and start the slow incline going up this way, wrap it back around the track that was already existing, to keep the same footprint, but to be able to still make it and not have to worry about the excess weight of a full train, we should be able to make it. If we can make it up without using the sander, that would be fantastic. Like I said, this is a 2% incline. Actually, I think it was 1% until about right here, then it goes to 2%. So as long as we can make it around this bend right here, I know we'll be able to make it up completely without the sander. Which I can see we're slowing down a little bit, but I think we might be good. But once we get past the waterfall here, it's pretty much all the same track. This is all the new stuff. I'm going to get rid of this bridge that's down here. And what I'm going to do is try to find a straight section around in here somewhere, if I can, and put in another switch so that way I can split off and then go up this direction to tie on to this old line right here going up to the coal mine. And as you can see, I still tried to hug the terrain the best I could, even though we were using a bridge. I just didn't want a straight line all the way through here. It just would have looked kind of weird, more than what it already does. I mean, this doesn't look bad or anything, but this is a nice straight section right here. I might throw the switch in right here, but the only bad thing is that it's going to flatten it out. And I don't want that. So we'll have to see. I might have to keep that other switch in and just follow it up. I don't know. I really don't want to put that much bridge in. But if I can just split off of it right here and go up and tie into the track that's up here, that would be better. But yeah, once we get up here to this switch, it's pretty much the same track. I didn't touch it. All I did was redo the track from this switch all the way back down to the smelter, which is all the way down there now. So this is all the same. I do kind of want to redo all this because it is kind of wavy, but it still works. So let's get up to the top here, and then we'll go ahead and try to redo the switch that's up top here, closer to the top, where, well, actually, I'll show you guys what I'm talking about here once we get up there. Alright, so we still been making it up. No sander whatsoever. And we're getting up to the point here where I'm going to redo because, yeah, it's just really, really bad. I mean, I'm surprised we haven't derailed on it, to be honest with you. So I'm going to slow this down a bit. And it's right here. Bam. I want to redo that. It's just to get on and off that switch, it's just really bad. Make sure I get around without. There we go. Alright, and then going up the rest of the way, it isn't that bad. I do want to kind of redo this track here because, like, entering and exiting off this bridge is kind of sharp, but it's not that bad. But that switch back there, it's really bad. So like I said, I've already brought some lumber up here. I dropped off a load of logs to the sawmill. I dropped off some cordwood to the smelter. I dropped off lumber up here. And now we're getting to the point where we can drop off the beams to get this iron ore mine going again. As you can see, all the lumber that's here, that is completely stocked full as of right now. And I don't think we're gonna have enough wooden beams to fill this up completely, which we're not going to anyways, because once we start putting it on there and dropping it off, it's going to start utilizing the material. So let's go ahead and add some brake. And I might have to back up a little bit. I missed that platform just ever so slightly. Back it up just a little bit. And brake. Alright, so like I said, we dropped off all this lumber, 50 out of 50. And as of right now, what we're sitting at is $1,473. So let's go ahead and drop off this lumber, and I'm going to unload everything, and we're going to see how much we make off of not all the lumber, but the wooden beams. So we need 30 wooden beams, and we have 5 cars times 3. I think that's 5 cars. 2, 3, we might actually, 2, 4, 6, 8 cars times 3. So we're not going to have enough to really stock this completely up. But like I said, once we start unloading the wooden beams here, it's going to start taking the lumber and wooden beams and creating the iron ore. So let's go ahead and do this and see how much money we have afterwards. Alright, so we're on our last 2 cars here, and we've already made over $400. We start off with $1,473. And this should put us up over $2,000. And it did. So as you can see here, we're down to 19 out of 30 beams. And we've used up 10 of our lumber. Which means since it's not really producing or taking away anymore, we're probably maxed out on iron ore. Yes. Almost dang near capacity, 285 out of 290. So that needs to go down to the smelter. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run these back to the rail yard and grab our hoppers, come back up, fill all the hoppers up, and actually we have enough to where we might be able to buy another hopper. But I don't know if we want to do that or start buying box cars, because we need box cars for tools. So what I'm going to do is, how much are the box cars? Right here. $950. So we should be able to buy 4 of those? Let's see. I wish there was a way of putting in how many you wanted to order. There's 2. And we're down to $149. Okay, so we can only buy 2 of those. My math is completely off. Alright, so just like that, we are almost broke again. But once we get down there, we'll get those hoppers, fill up the iron ore, and we'll have some more money to buy another 1 or 2 box cars for the tools. So let's go ahead and head on down. I will end up going to the rail yard, grabbing up our hoppers, and then I will be back up here to fill them up. Alright, so we are almost back up to the top with the 4 hoppers. I had enough time to, as the train was going, when the train was going back, I was able to order food, and then after I hooked up the hoppers and started sending the train back by itself, went to the bathroom, ate, and now we're back. So anyhow, I redone this section. As you can see, it's a lot more smooth. I moved the switch, I doubled up the bridge, and look how much better that is. And then on the other side of the bridge here is where I put the switch, right here. So it might be a little janky still after the switch coming up this way. But that's nothing bad at all. That is... No train will derail on that. So let's get up here. I am going to fill up these 4 hoppers. And then we'll go down and see just how much money we make. See if we can make enough to purchase another boxcar. We should be able to. I would assume we would be able to, but you just never know. And those boxcars, they're not expensive, but they're not cheap either. So, all right. Ooh, I almost stopped that just perfect without needing to mess with the brakes. So, all right. So let's go ahead and grab a hold of this and lower down. And I think 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And that fills it up. 10 of those, as you see the balls drop, that's like one thing, and it holds 10. So if we look at it, 10 out of 10. All right. And now you see how fast that went. Now I'll show you just how much faster it is to do it that way than it is to just let it go. And I know it. There's going to be people out there breaking into the song. Don't do it. Fight it. Don't do it. All right, so we drop this down. 1, 2. See, it just takes forever. So I'm not sure how much is in here now. There's 4. Okay. So it took that long for 4. So if we lower this, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And just like that. So I'm going to load up these next 2 and head down to the smelter, and I will see you down there. Alright, so we are almost back to the smelter. We've just been pretty much coasting all the way down. I've only touched the regulator maybe 1 time. And it's been pretty smooth sailing. Maybe just a little bit faster than this. We're kind of slowing down a little bit because we hit that 1% grade instead of a 2% grade. But you can kind of see where it transitions right in here. And I do believe that where we have the switch, where we have our switch at, we're going to have to go all the way around the smelter unless we actually go through the switch and then back up. But I kind of want to go through and wrap back around and then in, because I want to test out that new loop track that we put in and see. Actually, yeah, we're gonna miss the platform. We're just missing the platform, but that's okay. So let me tap the brake here because I want to go to the left track instead of going to the right. So let's hop on out here. I'm gonna flip this switch because I want to test out this loop right here. This one stays. This one flips. But we need to make sure we flip this switch here once we get around to the cordwood. So let's cross our fingers. It shouldn't be bad with 5 or 4 cars. Technically 5 if you want to count the tender. But with 4 cars, it shouldn't be that bad. I think it's going to be the longer type of trains. that we might have some issues with. But let's see and find out. Let's make sure this is good. It might get kind of spicy right in this area here. Hopefully it makes it. Right there. Gets really tight. And yeah, we're gonna have some issues. See how the tender jumped? Oh, brake, brake, brake. Please don't derail, please don't derail. It derailed. Alrighty. I wasn't paying attention. That's on me. Let me go ahead and fix this. We are back online here. Luckily, it was just the locomotive and the tender I had to re-rail, but can't go a stupid episode without derailing something. But it's been getting better. Just a matter of relaying down some track, redoing some track, stuff like that, which is basically what all there really is to do now is fixed troubled areas. So, alright. Let's get in here. This switch is good. And we need to stop to flip the switch up ahead of us. Actually, I might just keep it right like that, so that way it has a little bit of power, that way it keeps going. Let's run up here, we'll flip this switch so we know it's good. And hopefully the train isn't too far behind. And this switch here will flip back again, so that way we head back up and out. Actually, the train didn't make it very far, did it? If anywhere at all, it stopped. Alright, let's get to the platform. Alright, so after buying the 2 box cars, we made it down to $149. Let's see here. We have 0 out of 1,000 iron ore, and this is, like I said, I brought in a full load of cordwood, which only put us up to 41 out of 100. But that's gonna be taken away pretty quick here. Yeah, that's a lot of iron ore. That's 10 of these cars full. So let's go ahead and see how much money we make. I think it's 20 per, so it should be 200 per car. Yeah, we had 149, now we have 749, so yeah, that's $600 off of them 3. So after this next train car, we should have enough to purchase 1 more box car. Let's go ahead and pull forward. Maybe. Usually going full regulator and full brake, you pull forward just a little bit faster than that. Take the brake off. And stop that. And we'll go ahead and pull up our money. We should have 900. Oh, we're gonna be $1 short. $1 short. That sucks. $949. And a new box car is $950. We are $1 short. One measly doll hair. So much for purchasing another box car. So we might have to take another load of logs. Something quick, something easy. Throw in some more firewood. blown through a lot of firewood. I'm gonna have to fill this up too, because you can see we're not getting low, but we're working our third row of cordwood or firewood down, because it's usually this row, the top row here that you can currently see, then another full row, and then a full row on top of that. So, all right, let's head back to the depot and drop these off, and we will take a look at the boxcars. Alrighty, so we just made it back. You can see we're parking the cars right up where we had them. And we still have our 3 tankers here we have not been able to use at this moment in time, but maybe next time, who knows? We'll see and find out. But we now have our 2 new boxcars sitting over here just waiting for us. And if I'm not mistaken, yes, you can open them, not from the inside, but from the outside. Where's it at? There it is. There we go. Now you can be a hobo and ride in somebody's train. Look at that. Hopefully I didn't offend anybody by saying that, but that's what they're called. So, but there we go. We have 2 new boxcars, and all we need to do is, if we can just deliver 1 more train of goods, even if it's just get a load of logs and bring them down to the depot here to sell them off here, that way we're already back here, we'll have enough to buy another boxcar. Or 2. No, it'll just be the 1. This 10 per log. We're better off maybe getting some lumber to bring back down here, because that's 6 per train car. I think it's $15 per. So that's 6 per, and that's, how many cars were there? 8? 2, 4, 6, 8. Yes. So let me do the math. What is, I think it's 8 times 15? No. 6 times 8 is 48, so 48 times 15. Whatever the heck that is. And that's how much money we'll get off of lumber if we just brought it down here. And then we'll already be down here to get another boxcar. And start being able to deliver goods that way from all the way down there. I think what we're going to have to do is, I think, what is it that that we need? Let me check. Alright, so this is just somebody's map that they uploaded to Minnie's Word online. And it's pretty much, this program here is pretty much, you can come in and you can physically edit track that's already on your map. If you upload your map, you can get in here and say, oh, well, I don't like this turn. I can click on curves and straights. I can click on a section of track, like that section there, and then also click on that section there, and then generate curve with whatever stipulations I wanted with the rail, or rail on wooden deck, if I want to keep it on gravel, stone wall, wooden bridge, whatever. I can then generate, and it will then place in another curve right here that is straight. Not like a straight line, but you don't have it curve, flatten, curve, flatten, curve. It'll just be one constant curve out. But anyhow, the other thing that you can do is they do have this little thing on here, this little legend, and it will tell you from the very beginning what you need. Okay, so anything red is what's going in, anything green is what's coming out. So the logging camp, you get the cordwood and logs. Then the sawmill, you bring the logs in, you get the wooden beams and lumber out. Smelter, you bring in the iron ore, bring in the cordwood, then you get the raw iron and rails out. Iron ore mine, you bring in the lumber and the wooden beams, and you get the iron ore out. Coal mine, wooden beams, and metal rails, and you get coal. So I think that's what we're going to have to do next time. We're going to take the wooden beams and rails, so that way we can start getting more coal. Because we're going to need the coal. We're going to need that. Alright. And then for the oil field, you need, what was it? Steel tubes, beams, which is wooden beams, and tools. You get crude oil. But we won't be able to get that unless we get steel tubes and tools. So the next stop after we get coal, we're going to have to take that and the raw iron to the ironworks, because that's where we're going to get those two things needed, other than the wooden beams, for the crude oil. And then the refinery, you need the crude oil, you need more steel. Okay, so it's steel pipes, not tubes. Steel pipes, crude oil, and lumber. You get the oil barrels. And then you can sell the oil barrels off at the depot. So, like I said, our next thing to do is we need to get the wooden beams and the metal rails up to the coal mine, which means we have to redo that line because we're not connected up anymore. We got to redo the rail line, and then take these two things up to get more coal, take the hoppers up, and then we also need to stop at the refinery and pick up raw iron, and then we need to take those two things over to the ironworks. Once we get the steel pipes and the tools going, start getting those, added up, then we can go ahead and take those two things along with the wooden beams to create the crude oil at the oil field. So it's just a one step at a time process, especially with only one person. Hopefully we can get some more people in here shortly. That way we can actually start making some more money and get more trains going, and we can get all these processes going, because that's how this game works. You got to keep bouncing back and forth. So, anyhow, that is where I am going to end this episode, guys. So we made a lot of money. We spent a lot of money. But we made progress. We updated our rail line to make it more efficient. We got 2 new boxcars. And $1 short of a third boxcar. So we are getting there, slowly but surely. We are getting our fleet of cars all added up here. And the good thing about that program I was just showing you is you can actually get in there and you can renumber and rename cars. You can rename and number your caboose. And even if you guys remember, when I first bought Goliath, I had it as engine number 1. But Betsy over there is engine number 1. That program is how I was able to keep Goliath without spending any more money, or deleting this one and then spending more money on another locomotive, but yet renaming it or renumbering it number 2. Bam. So what I did is I took the save file of the game, I uploaded it into that program, and as I opened it up, I was able to renumber the train. I didn't do any groundwork or rail work, but that is how I did that. And if I really wanted to, I could go and renumber all these cars, give them names if I really wanted to, and then of course there's gonna be some out of order because of us derailing and re-railing and so on and so forth. but we could also just renumber them and then put them all in order. Or not reorder them and just number them all and they are where they're at. But, so anyhow, I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys haven't done so already, if you are new here, don't forget to subscribe, share, like, click that bell notification, and I will see you guys in the next upload and or live stream. So, thank you for watching, and I don't know, wherever you're at, I hope you're having a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever the case may be. And I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching, everybody. Take care.